Welcome back to DXB Today. Great to have your company this evening. Now, I know what you're doing. You're watching the TV, but you've got your phone in your hand, haven't you? Hey, put that phone down, okay? Because today is all about digital detoxing. Yeah. It's all good and well mentioning about digital detox, and it's bad, and we need to sort of have more of a balance. But what do you do about it? What about the solutions? Well, the good news is we've got the experts in studio to deliver a few of those solutions. None more so than our next guest, a CDA licensed psychologist with Thrive Wellbeing Centre. Jocelyn Gracias joins us now live here on the server. Thanks for joining us.
It's good to be here.
So there we were chatting about, and it was very interesting to hear Emkran talking about, he put his hands up and said, at certain times I've needed to sort of back off from what I do, despite that's where I get my bread and butter, etc. In terms of red flags, be it a child, be it your partner, be it a work colleague, be it yourself, are there certain red flags that you can notice for digital detox or screen addictions?
Yes, so I think you've said it yourself, the word addiction and dependency. These are these two words that we have to be very mindful of, because definition of addiction is when you cannot live without it.
Yeah.
Right? Dependency is not as bad as addiction, but you can see that there's a lot of mindless act there. So if it's dependency, then there are a lot of things you can do in terms of detoxes, personal boundaries that you can set for yourself, for your families, for your kids, but you also have to do it in the form of healthy discipline, not just as a way to reprimand yourself or look at it as a negative thing because then that will disrupt your relationship with yourself, and there's no compassion there, and you need compassion when you're working on yourself. And I think that's one thing to keep in mind when these two words come up, which is addiction and dependency. And the other thing to kind of focus on is the word escape. And I think when I work with clients, this is something that I am very mindful of, is because if there is a level of escaping that's happening through, your digital, your phones, your video games, everything digital, right? And it's so accessible that you can just go into that so quickly, not knowing what's even happening.
Yeah.
So that escaping could happen a lot of times because we need to work on our connection with ourselves. So being alone with our thoughts is difficult sometimes. So it could be that, or it could be just a mindless habit. So that's why the word escape is important, because then you are trying to ask yourself the question, why?
Yeah, like you said, escapism, like in my case, sometimes we had that example at the beginning of the show. If you're sitting in an elevator with people, it's so easy to just pull up your phone and start using it. But how can someone get on not getting addicted to screen or the screen? Do you have certain steps that a person can do in order to get away from that?
Smash it with a hammer.
Well, that's one solution.
Expensive solution.
I think there are a couple of things that you can do. If you want to assess, you need professional help, or you can just take it on as something to work on yourself. You're personal growth oriented. So the one thing you can do is bring mindfulness. So a lot of awareness where you are observant, curious, right? Okay, what's happening? How was my day? Because mindlessness is a trend. Mindlessness is everywhere. Yeah. Mindlessness is scary.
True.
Right? So just being mindful, and I know it can take a lot of time to reach mindful. You don't just jump from mindless to mindful.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that you can do in terms of grounding. So that's also something with setting boundaries. When you put aside a time where you do a little bit of mindfulness practices, if you want to do something very specific, or just being very curious and observant with yourself throughout your day, noticing what was your behavior like.
Emkran, your thoughts?
So I mean, it's interesting that you're talking about mindfulness, because what I found is when I limit my tech use, particularly as a content creator, you've got to come up with ideas, you've got to come up with sort of planning, these types of things. I found that I have better ideas when I'm away from the display or the screens. And I might go for a walk, and turn off, basically leave my phone at home, or, turn it on Do Not Disturb. And some of the ideas that then come are actually original, different, and then I can sort of expand on those, you know, when I get back to try and sort of make notes or whatever and work on that from that perspective. So mindfulness definitely has its perks, and I've noticed that from my side.
Yeah, I think I have something to add on to that, and that is, if you see the process of creativity,
Absolutely.
where you go through all the stages, and one of the stages is sometimes just letting be, you know, just being by yourself, not doing anything, right? And a lot of creative, you know, stuff flows for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's good, because that's getting you thinking, that's giving you more ideas, that's giving you space
Absolutely.
for, you know, your nervous system to work versus only be occupied.
And it helps prevent the burnout as well. That was the other
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
I feel like there's so many red flags in my life, and what you're saying, I'm going to be honest, what you're saying makes so much sense. I have really bad anxiety, which people don't usually expect from me, and I know it relates to my phone, and there's a lot of bad stuff happening in the world right now, and a lot of it we're absorbing, a lot of emotions and graphic images on social media, and I feel like I can't get away from my phone. All of my work is on my phone. I'm editing, I'm answering emails, I'm constantly on my phone. I wake up in the middle of night, absorb really graphic content, and I sleep terribly. I don't know how to break that cycle. What you're saying makes so much sense. I just don't know how to get there while still doing everything that I need to do and being as productive as I am every day.
Right.
What's the first good step? I'm gonna make that step, guys. I'm declaring it on TV. I'm not in a good place right now, if I'm gonna be completely
I think
transparent.
she's just after a free consultancy. at the moment.
Someone give me free therapy.
So I think that was where I was going, because when you notice, when you observe that things are really deep-rooted, and it's happening for a long period of time. So now there is escapism that could exist, but then there's also that dependency that has already been created, and then again, it's a part of your lifestyle. So sitting down to break the concept of self, and I know this sounds so, you know, technical, but it's not. It's asking yourself very simple why, how, when questions,
Yeah.
right? So that's a little bit of self-therapy that you can do with yourself. But I think seeking professional help, which I see in my practice with a lot of my clients, is also taking that professional help to go deeper. You know, and I know this is going to, you know, sound like, oh, we know this, because we go a lot into childhood. We kind of look at traumas. We look at, you know, your entire lifespan together to see what could have caused that dependency, because so many things go unnoticed, but they're not dealt with, and they're just there, stored in our subconscious mind, waiting to be dealt with.
Yes.
Right? So,
That
yeah.
need to be constantly productive all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, so a lot of core themes, core beliefs,
Yeah.
right? Inadequacy, feeling good enough. Now, these are some massive core themes that we are juggling every single day. And that's why I think I would say professional help really, really helps, because sometimes the process itself can be so overwhelming that if you have a little bit of structure around that process, it really feels good. And there's a lot of compassion that comes in the session. And the other thing that you can do with yourself is be compassionate, you know, because I think sometimes it's so easy to be angry with these parts, you know, that are always wanting to be productive, and so easy to snap at ourselves, be like, why am I like this? Or what's causing for
Why
this
am I
to
so
happen?
exhausted?
So many
Why am I
different
so
questions.
tired and anxious? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Practically, also, one of the things that helped me, which might help you as well, is that try and have parts of the day that you exclusively do not use the phone.
Yeah.
Start off with half an hour to begin with, and that's going to be a difficult half an hour to begin with, but you'll start to realize that, you know, these habits of automatically going for the phone or scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, whatever it's going to be, you'll try and sort of channel attention and energy in a different direction.
Yeah.
So literally start off with perhaps 2 half-an-hour slots during the day, one at the beginning and one at the end of the day.
It all starts with
So you
like
don't do
baby
that. And
steps.
please, I think
Baby
the
steps all the
baby
time.
steps.
Yeah.
But one of the things that was really paramount for me, and I've tested this on myself, is when you wake up in the morning, do not go for that phone. Give it half an hour before you actually pick up the phone, because you will notice an improvement in terms of your cortisol levels, your stress levels before you've begun the day.
Yeah.
Because I've done it where I don't check my phone
Yeah.
at the beginning of the day, and it helps. the moment I start going back to checking the phone, first thing, it sort of,
One more,
Yeah.
if I may, to add is get off the DXB Today WhatsApp groups as well, because that's a lot of
so
time.
many of them.
All right?
Yeah.
In fact, just WhatsApp groups in general. Get off them, okay?
Yeah. Well, Jocelyn, thank you so much for joining us on today's show. It was great having you with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Now, today's spotlight is on an award-winning mobile-based laundry and dry cleaning service, creating premium quality through state-of-the-art technology. This is Rami Sha'ar from Washmen.
My name is Rami. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Washmen. Washmen is a mobile-based laundry service and dry cleaning business here in the UAE, servicing Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We've been awarded the world's most innovative laundry. So it goes back about 10 years ago when I used to be a banker, and I used to have this laundry guy that used to come on WhatsApp. There was a lot of issues with the experience. First, scheduling the pickup and the drop off, and then a drop off, whenever they come, you need to be there waiting for them. You have to pay with cash. There's no credit cards being accepted. And if anything goes wrong, damaging or losing your items, the experience can go pretty bad. So I thought it was a good opportunity for us to tackle that and bring quality at scale to the UAE. So when we first started, it was an asset-light business model, meaning that we connected the dots of the supply chain. We didn't own any of the facilities. And that was important because you need to get a proof of concept, build a mobile app, acquire some customers. And once we started scaling up, we realized the importance of raising cash to be able to build a centralized operations that will ensure quality at scale. And it's been, I would say, the last 4 years. We've been operating fully supply chain integrated. We own everything and don't outsource any of our operations. And it's allowed us to really scale the business about 10x since making that move. The long-term goal is to make sure that we continue scaling our operation to service even more customers in the UAE. Today, we have a facility that is 45,000 square feet of space, of which only a third is being utilized. And we built this facility for the future of the growing, country, specifically here in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, where we're seeing a big influx of people moving here to the region. And we believe this facility is designed for the future, allowing us to scale quality in the dry cleaning and laundry space. So I'm very close to my customers. I reach out to them by email on a frequent basis. My email is rami@washmen.com. If anyone wants to reach out to me with feedback, I find that very valuable. And I really appreciate it. So feel free to reach out to me directly.
Yeah, congratulations to Rami and all the team at Washmen, taking the simplest of ideas and turning it into a very successful business plan. Right, talking of good ideas, got any ideas for the weekend? Dana's got a few ideas.
I do indeed, and we've got not one, but 2 roundups tonight. Now, if you're looking for a musical experience of a lifetime, everyone's talking about this. The Untold Music Festival kicks off tonight at Expo City, Dubai, and this is going on until the 18th of February. Now, headliners are including Armin van Buuren, Sebastian Ingrosso, Hardwell, Tiesto, I love Tiesto, I love you, Timmy Trumpet, Ellie Goulding, G-Eazy, Major Lazer, Baby Rexha, and so many more. This is going to be huge. Now, if you're a fan of musical symphonies, renowned pianist and composer Video De Ferrari is performing at the Sustainable City on Saturday and Sunday this weekend as well, be accompanied by a 25-piece orchestra ranging from a symphonic instruments, Latin percussion, and electric bass. So many choices, guys. If you could hang out with any celebrity musical artists, any talent in town this week, who would it be?
I think Major Lazer.
I don't know who that is. I know I just said their name and I know it's important.
I think Major Lazer for me. You guys?
recently I started listening to Burna Boy. I know he's been to Dubai before.
Okay.
Like it's quite interesting.
Oh, Tom, how about you? Give us something ancient. Come on.
Just gonna nod on.
I was thinking in general or just the music festival.
Well, I was gonna say someone that's kind of in town because there's a lot
in
happening
town,
in
okay.
Dubai right
Because I was
now.
like, if it's general,
Okay.
I'd be Adele.
No, oh yeah. No, for me it would be Tiesto. I've interviewed him before, and he was amazing, and he spoke to me in Arabic, which I was very impressed.
Oh,
He doesn't
okay.
really. I think he can do a few things, but he was like "Ahlan, ahlan, habibti," and he was very charming.
Yeah.
But what a talent as well.
Untold, not you know, I mean, it's got something for everyone there. I've been bombarded with requests for tickets from people, from my children, from other friends and pieces like that. Can you get tickets? Can you get tickets? Can you get tickets? Ellie Goulding's coming to town though. And
Yes.
Ellie actually went to school in the same city that I went
Oh,
to
wow.
school as well. So it's quite funny when you go back home now, and it's quite a rural farming city out to the west of the UK. And you go around the city and you find like blue plaques on the wall saying, Ellie ate fish and chips at this fish and chip shop. Ellie watched a film at this cinema and things
Wait,
like
does
that.
she doesn't own? She's not affiliated with them. She's just been there.
Yeah, she went to school there, and then obviously
No, but these places, she's just eaten there. Or
she
whatever.
hasn't bought them all up. No,
No.
she's very successful.
I
Probably
mean,
one
is
of
she
the most.
that
Not yet. I
huge?
don't think she would like
Is she
go and
that big?
buy
Are you
the
from
whole
a really tiny town?
the whole area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Ellie Goulding would be my pick at Untold, but I'm a sucker for a symphonic orchestra. I do love that.
Yeah, I felt like you were going to say that.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
did I
yeah.
guess?
Let's see. But after this, find out how to build sustainable digital habits with the founder of Holistified. Plus, we've got great music in the studio. Stay tuned.